Hello and welcome to Before Exams. Here we help you to prepare for your competitive examinations. Subscribe to our channel so that whenever we post the content about your exam, you get the notification about it.
Hello and welcome to this section of IELTS reading. We have done a lot of questions till now. I hope you are really enjoying your course of IELTS and you are gaining a lot. I really hope that you realize your dream of moving abroad very soon. So let's just move to the topic. Today we'll be learning about MCQs, that is multiple choice type of questions. Now in multiple choice type of questions, as the name suggests, that there will be a questions and there will be some options from which you have to find out the correct answer. So in this lecture, we'll be learning about the overview, the strategy, then some tips, and then we'll be looking at an example. So the multiple choice of questions are the questions that you will find in your exam a lot. So there is very high probability that these type of questions could appear in your exam. So you should be really prepared for these type of questions. Now in these kind of questions, there is a statement and then there are some options. A candidate needs to select the correct option. Now what the examiner does is they try to confuse the candidate by giving two options, by giving the same keywords for the two options, but the meaning are different. So what the candidates confuse in is about the keywords, and they end up marking the answer wrong. So in multiple choice type of questions, you have to read the passage carefully and you have to understand the options very carefully. Now there are three types of MCQs. You will see three types of multiple choice questions in your exam. The first will be choose one answer out of four options. So there will be four options and you have to choose only one answer out of it. Then there will be to choose two answers out of five options. So there will be a question, then there will be five options which will be given and you have to choose two correct options from that. The last will be choose three answers out of six options. So there could be six or seven options, or in the second type also there could be five or six options, and it will be mentioned that you have to choose two or three according to the question. Now what should be your strategy? What strategy you must follow to attempt these kind of questions? First is read all the instructions carefully and understand the question. Understanding the question here is very important. It is because many a times examiner, not many a times, almost every time examiner, they try to confuse you with the options. So you will be able to answer these type of questions only if you have understood the question correctly, that is the problem statement correctly, and if you have understood the options correctly. Then underline the keywords and think of the possible synonyms. The keywords which are given in the options, just underline those. Also the keywords given in the question, underline those, and then read the passage and try to find out the information around those words or around the synonyms of those words. Then read the options and try to figure out the meaning and the differences between the options. As I said, that there will be around two or three options in which the examiner will try to confuse you. So when you find the information around the synonyms or the keywords, what you have to do is you have to figure out that what are the differences between the options. It is not only about choosing the correct option, it is also about figuring out the differences between the two options which are confusing. So only then you will be confident enough about the correct answer if you know the difference between two kind of options. Then after that, read the text carefully and keeping in mind the difference in meanings of the options. Also, after you read the options, just try to find the difference, that what are the difference between the options. Then jump to the passage, read the passage, and when you'll be reading the information about all the options, just keep that differences in mind, that the differences between the options in mind. After that, you can do in the beginning also, and you have to do it at the end also. that is really your choice. Try to eliminate the option rather than finding the correct option. Because let's say if there is a question and there are 4 options to it, you try to eliminate the options. Now if you were able to eliminate 2 options, then your job was 50% done. That means now when you will be looking about the information in the passage, you have to work for only 2 options. Now you have to select from only 2 options. 2 options have already been struck off. So always try to eliminate the options. It will really ease out your job. After that, when you'll find the correct option, repeat the same procedure for the next set of problems, set of questions, or the problem statement. There are some things that you need to keep in mind while attempting these questions. First thing is always read the question first before reading the questions. I'm sorry, before reading the passage in these types. So rather than reading the passage, always read the questions first. Now, just by reading the question, there are strong chances of elimination of 1 or 2 options. If you will be reading the question only, just by reading the question, there will be very good chances that you will be able to eliminate 1 or 2 options, because there will be 1 or 2 options which you will immediately figure out that this could not be the answer of this question just with your common sense. Whenever you are unable to find the answer, because this happens in these kind of questions a lot, if you are unable to find the answer, if you are not confident enough about the answer, don't waste the time here. Just guess the answer. If you are confused between 2 options or 3 options, just guess the best option that you think is the correct and mark it, and then move to the next question. Because if you will keep on wasting the time, you will fumble up, and you will not be able to attempt all the questions, or maybe you will fumble in the next question because of the stress that you would have gotten. So and also it will lose your focus. So if you are not sure about a question, if it's taking a long, just leave it and move to the next question. Just make a guess, because and always make a guess, because making a guess will not harm you, will not hamper your score. There are very good chances. There is 25%. Let's say there are 4 options, then there are 25% chances that your marked option could be correct. Now if you have marked it from 3 options, then there are 33% chances that it could be correct. But the thing is, if you will not mark anything, then there are 0% chances that it will be correct, and 100% chances that you will lose marks there. Now if there is no negative marking, never leave the question. Always mark the option according to the best guess that you can make. As I said, examiner always try to distract by using the same keyword in 2 or 3 options. So they will try to distract you. They will try to confuse you. That is why you have to be very sure about the meaning of the options and the meaning of the question. Answers are always in the order in these kind of questions. Now, when many a times it happens that you do not have any idea about the topic of the passage. For example, it is the topic of the passage is about any science related topic, and you are not aware about that. Let's say it's about time machine, and you are not aware about that. You don't even know that what is time machine. So never lose confidence, even if you do not know a single word or a single if you do not have a single thought about that about the topic. So do not be disheartened, do not lose confidence. It is because the answers that you will find, that will be in the text only. So you do not need knowledge of that kind of topic. You just read the text and you will find the answers from there. There will be no question which will check your common sense. It is the reading test, not the common sense test or the IQ test. So if you are, or not the GK test, if you are not confident about a topic, don't lose confidence. Then what you have to do is you just read the passage carefully, and you will find all the answers from there. Before making or marking the correct option, always read the question again. Because as I said, that examiner tries to confuse you. So always recheck your answer before marking it. Always read the full sentences, because this is the only way that you will be able to understand it very carefully. If you will understand it fully, and this is very important in these kind of questions, to understand the problem statement fully. Okay, so let's just go ahead, let's just check the example. Also, never leave these questions, because many a times I find that candidates, they leave these questions because these are not confident, they are not confident enough. As I said, that there is probability that it could be correct. So if you are not confident enough about a question, particular question, just mark that answer. Okay, so this is a passage, and then there are some multiple choice question. Let's just go ahead and let's just attempt one of these, and then we'll be attempting the other, so that you have an idea that how you have to attempt these kind of questions. Okay, so I'll give you some time, or you can pause the video and you can read this these questions, and then you can go ahead with the passage. I will suggest you to read the question first and then read the passage. Okay, so if you want more time, you can just pause the video. Okay, so let's just go ahead, let's just try to find the answers. So the first question says, what did archaeologists in southern Germany discover? So let's first of all mark the keywords here. So the first keywords is archaeologists in southern Germany, and what they are talking about a discovery. Let's mark about the options. 34 dead animals, graveyard of 34 skeletons, relics of early civilization, 9, 7, 16, 9 male, female, and children. So now go ahead and let's look if we have answer here. In 1983, archaeologists in southern Germany discovered a mass grave containing 34 skeletons. They included 9 adult males, 7 adult females, and 16 children. Now, what happens in this is they have tried to confuse you. How? In 1983, archaeologists in southern Germany discovered a mass grave containing 34 skeletons. Now, the candidate will think that it is talking about this 34 skeletons, so this will be the answer. Now look, if we go ahead and if we look at these options, remains of 34 dead animals. Okay, this could be the answer, skeletons and remains of 34 dead animals. Okay, graveyard containing 34 skeletons. Now they have specifically talked about skeletons, and they are saying grave containing 34 skeletons. Now there is a difference. It says graveyard containing 34 skeletons. It says grave containing, mass grave containing 34 skeletons. Right now here they have specified it that these were 9 adult males, 7 adult females, and then 16 children. Now it is saying that it is mass grave. It is saying that it is a proper graveyard. So here lies the difference. It was not a graveyard, it was a mass grave, but it was not a graveyard, an official graveyard. So this will be the incorrect option. Then they have said they included 9 adult males, 7 adult females, and 16 children. So these were 9 adult male, 7 adult females, and 16 children. Okay, so this will be your correct answer. Okay, let's now what you can do is you just go ahead, check for the other question, just attempt these questions, and if you have any doubt, you can drop me a mail, or what you have to do is, if you find the answer, just comment the answer in the comment box. Okay, so that will be it for today. For assignments, you can always mail me your query to the email address that I'll be mentioning in the description. So for the assignments, you can just contact on that email address, and you can get the assignment from there. So that will be enough for today. Thanks a lot for your time and patience. I hope you learned a good thing about your IELTS reading today, and I hope you will now be confident enough about attempting these MCQs or multiple choice questions. So thanks a lot. Have a great day to you, and bye-bye. I'll see you in the next one.